Welcome, Prowl Nation. Welcome to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk. It's brought to you by Lions Nation Unite. Dan Campbell is shaking things up. What do we think about that? Well, you know what? Also, did Sheila Ford Hamp, Brad Holmes, and Dan Campbell expect us to be this bad? We'll talk about that. The divide on Campbell's Goff comments in the media. We're also going to touch on that. And as a fan, do you want the number one pick? We'll touch on that as well. All right. And I'm going to kick it to my main man, the man of steel himself, Curt Steele.
What up, dude? Welcome to the show, people. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And get on the bus, Gus. Get on this train, Wayne. The March to 3,000 is definitely on. So click the subscribe button. And like my man always asks me to tell you, it's free. Free. How free? Free 99 and 50 free cents. So let's go ahead and get this thing going. Hey, man, it's time to bring in the third man of the crew. He's the coolest man on the show, and the lady love him. My man, LL Cool Tones. What's up, my guy?
Good morning, Proud Nation. Happy Wednesday.
Hey, let's get this thing started
right now.
Let's go.
Detroit Lions talk, baby.
Get up, and on the way up, we're going to buy the kneecap off.
Yes, sir. We in the deep. Hey, welcome back to the show, people. Now it's time to talk about Dan Campbell. Say he gonna shake
Dan
some
Campbell.
things up. Jim, what you got on the shake up from Dan
Campbell said he's going to shake some things up, and he was talking about the roster, but he was also talking about a lot of different areas, not just one area. He was talking about play calling. He was talking about, dumbing things down for some of these people. One word, descriptions for stuff, getting the verbiage different, because when you got new corners in there and you've got all these people trying to communicate, it takes less time for them to be able to get that signal and get what their assignment is supposed to be. So he said that's what he wants to do on his end. He wants to shake up practice. Padded practices are coming back, man. You want to show up to work like this? We're gonna put it on you.
Well, the other thing with that, the league has rules about that. I think you're only allowed one every 2 weeks or something like that for padded practices.
He decided to go away from that last Wednesday to give their bodies a rest, and he's like, I shouldn't have done that.
Right. So you got to be.
Mm-hmm.
So the shakeup is a lot of different things. But my question is to you guys in the panel here is this shakeup, or these shakeups, or the different things that he could do, is it enough to get a win this season? And I'm not, maybe a few wins. I mean, is it enough to get a win this season or turn this kind of thing around, do you think?
With the verbiage and play calling, I can understand that, because you do have a lot of inexperienced guys coming in and playing on the roster. These guys are playing on the practice squad. They're not hearing the verbiage from, Jared Goff or, things of that nature. So if you got guys that are new and inexperienced and they're, this is their first live actions of their careers, they probably need some dumbing down, especially, guys are filling in, coming in off the street or coming off of practice squads from other teams. They need to, learn it, because they didn't spend time haven't spent that much time with the first team, so I can understand that. Will this shakeup get us some wins this season? You know what? And my win total has kind of pushed back a little bit. At first I was like 5-7. My record right now, I think we'll win 3 games. We'll be 3-14 at the end of the season. Now, I'm not hoping that we're before everyone loses their mind, loses their crap, and everything goes off on me. I'm looking at it realistically. Can we get veterans back that's going to be on the roster, or will we start seeing the shutdown where this season's a wash and they like, nah, you're not coming back this year. Might as well go ahead and heal. Will we see that? Well, we'll see today when we have practice report for tomorrow. Will Taylor Decker come back to practice? So it's those things. But the shakeup, shaking the lineups up. I mean, I know probably the biggest shakeup people want to see is Jared Goff sitting down, but I just don't think that's the answer right now. But
I don't either.
The shakeup is coming. I just think that I guess you just want to see what can get guys motivated, and maybe the biggest one to get motivated is Jared Goff.
Yeah, hopefully. hopefully it puts a fire under his backside to at least just step it up where he can.
Yeah, you can say
But,
light a fire under his ass.
Yeah. But no, I just if like I'm okay with the changes, do whatever you feel necessary, because of course they know better than I do. But don't change just for just to
For the sake of change.
get a couple little sucker wins, like, because if we're gonna be a bad team, that ain't gonna change anyway. So the win total ain't really gonna do nothing but change our draft position. So, but it's a phrase: get it how you live. If you're gonna win, if you're gonna lose, you gotta get it how you live. You gotta do it how you gonna do it. That's how I'd rather do it. But I guess it's still doing it how we do it, just a little bit different.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, if you like the content, like the video, share the video, comment on the video. These things helps us with this YouTube algorithm and get this content in front of more Lions fans just like yourself. Definitely, the March to 3,000 is definitely on. And get a kit for your manly bits over at manscaped.com. The code is DLOTP. That gets you 20% off your order and free worldwide shipping. So go over and check it out. Take care of your business down below. Get those tools for your manly jewels. So go to manscaped.com and we got you covered over there with that code DLOTP.
And if you feel we've been kicked in the balls by this team all year, you've got that lotion that you can use. Cool them puppies off. All right.
Nice soothing lotion for you.
Definitely. All right. Jim, what's your family discussion topic question for today?
Okay. I want to ask you guys, Dan Campbell's talked about a lot of things that need to be shaken up this year. What do you think needs to be shaken up this year? Put that in the comments below, and it might be one of our comment cards on the next show, which will be tomorrow.
Definitely. All right, my man, it's time for Jim's news and rumors topic for today. It's on you, my guy. What you got?
All right. I wondered, I had pottered a question before earlier this season, like at the beginning of the year almost. Did Sheila Ford Hamp, did Brad Holmes, did Dan Campbell expect us to be this bad? Parts of me wants to say yes, that this was kind of a throwaway season because they had to strip this down to nothing to get these fools out of here. And I'm not trying to be rude, but some of these people needed to go. We needed to cut people. We needed to get rid of people. Honestly, it made no sense to sign Kenny Golladay. I know that was a debate, over the off season, but it made no sense. We had to strip it all down and build it back up in the image of Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, and the owner, to be honest. Well, if we want to restore the roar and stop the bore, I think that these changes were necessary, but I do think they expected it. But I want to say something about another creator's video that I find highly entertaining is There Goes Mobby. And he says that their marketing department in Detroit for the Detroit Lions is the best marketing department out there because they can sell you a dream. And you buy it, you go buy tickets and all this stuff. And you expect them to be 11 wins, 12 wins, because you've seen all this stuff. Oh, this guy's so good and that guy's so good. But I want you to think about something. You know what? The Detroit Pistons did the same thing, tore it down to the bare bones, got rid of all the other guys, had a great draft and had a terrible season. But you know what? This season's different. They had another great draft and they have more players. They got a superstar in Cade Cunningham. You know what could happen for us is the same thing. Let's go out and get a superstar. Let's go out and get game changers that are going to help this team. Let's plug in those holes. And you know what? I do believe that we are going to get better. It just isn't going to be this year, like I've said the whole year, but I do think they knew about it. What do you guys think?
Yeah. We look at Dan Campbell's introductory press conference. He said it. He said, it's going to take a while to get this team where we want it to go. We're going to keep fighting, but, eventually we'll get better. And I think that's what the path is going to be. Like you said, you look at the salary cap implications, all the dead cap space, and you had to get some of these guys off of this roster. You're playing B and C players A money. And it's just one of those things. It's going to be a grind this season, but you're going to get better because we're going to start getting who we want instead of what we want. And some of these guys, most of this roster, besides the draft picks, are on 1-year prove-it deals.
Yep.
Except for the guys who really coincided these long-term huge contracts that we can't get off the books right now, like a Trey Flowers, or taking on Jared Goff's contract when even with the what they call it, whatever the restructure was this season for Jared Goff. But I think that they knew that. I think that they knew it was going to be bad. You look at some of the guys they brought in, it was like these guys are project, experimental players that it was just one of those things where all these guys that they brought in showed flashes other places, but they're trying to see if they can turn their career around in Detroit. And it's just not working for some of these guys. But we'll see. I mean, hey, a lot of young undrafted guys playing, but we'll start getting who we want here in the Motor City come next season.
Yeah, I like your analogy, Jim, with the Pistons.
Mm.
Like, they had to do a cleanup or a rebuild. Well, they're in the middle of a rebuild, but they did what they did, and then they got their they got some pieces last year, and they got their superstar this year, and then you're looking for, even if we don't have, we're not going to be very good this year, the Pistons, but another pick will help this team to bounce and probably be fighting for the playing games or however they're going to end up doing in the NBA. But yeah, man, I'm not so sure if they knew we were going to be this bad, but I don't know if anybody did. I mean, some of the people like, oh, we ain't gonna win a game this year. I think that's just people who just like to down talk the Lions. But I don't know if they saw, as far as record goes, being this bad. But maybe being this bad ain't so bad, if that make any sense. A lot of people, what we'll talk about later, a lot of people do want that number 1 overall pick to, and that could be a huge swing in many ways, either with the player or the picks that come from trading that pick. So yeah, I'm not so sure if they, just to answer the question, I'm not so sure if they expected us to be this bad, but maybe they do it. Now that we are this bad, maybe they have a plan in store.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the injuries have played a toll in this too, but I think that they didn't, when you have a bunch of undrafted free agents and rookies and a very young team, I don't think it was expected us to be very good. I think they want a superstar, or maybe a few of them, coming up in the draft, and then next year, maybe, the year after that, another one. Maybe some trades for somebody to put us over the top. I think we're a few years out yet, but yeah, I think it's good. I think it's going to work good. Hey, you know what? If you're going to pick up some Lions gear, and I don't know if you will, but if you're going to go to do that, can you click on the link below at fanatics.com? It'll take you right to our link for that. We get a small percentage of that, and it helps the show. But in back of me, I got the Derek Barnes jersey. It's probably one of the safer ones. I wouldn't get some of the other ones. Maybe the quarterback position you might want to stay away from. Jersey. Maybe, but maybe a Sewell or something like that, or look at Curt rocking that hat, man. Oh, that's sharp. Talk to me about that a little bit, Curt.
So this is Salute to Service gear. November is Veterans Day is coming up. So Salute to Service gear. All the proceeds from the sales of those products do not go to Nike, do not go to New Era. They go to veteran organizations like Wounded Warrior and things of that nature. So it go to nonprofit military organizations. So go over there, and if you always talking about, hey, I support the military, so go over there and do that with the Salute to Service gear over there on fanatics.com. Oh man, let's get into my news and Rupert's topic for today: the divide in the media on Jared Goff's on Dan Campbell's comments about Jared Goff. Well, you got some people, Jeff Saturday, and you have what's his name, Chris Carter over there at NFL Network. Oh, he's just blasting them out. I didn't see anything he said that was bad. He said he needs to step up. He said he needs to step like everyone else on this team and step up and help, be a leader on this team. I didn't see a problem with it. You got Saturday being a little whiny on this one. But you got Chris Carter talking about, well, he just needs to hug him. Man, what? Man, get out of here with that crap, man. Rex Ryan was like, I understand exactly what he's saying. And even our own Herman Moore over on Lions Nation United said, hey, maybe that he's challenging him so he can, go out there and be a better leader on the team. And I'm kind of on that side where I'm like, yeah, he probably needs to challenge him. If anybody picked him up by his pant loops and threw him under the bus, it was Anthony Lynn. Anthony Lynn threw him way under the bus. And he was like, he need to stop turning the doggone ball over. that was the comments that was more under the bus, type of comments. But Dan Campbell just saying he needs to step up like everyone else on the team. That's just a good leadership type of thing. He didn't say he turned the ball over too much. He just said, hey, he needs to step up like everybody else. So yeah, but the I need a hug crowd and all that stuff, man. And I don't know about that one, and I'm usually I'm an empathetic person, but for that comments, I'm like, I think Dan Campbell was in his right to say those things because the play from the quarterback position has been subpar. He's misreads. He's turned the ball over. I mean, it's one of those things, but he didn't put Jared Goff on blast. He said it as if that he could have very much said that. But what do you guys think about this big divide in the media versus, Dan Campbell talking about Jared Goff?
I don't think Dan Campbell threw him under the bus, to be quite honest about it. He went to his defense. He said, man, this is not just his issue. There's plenty of issues. And boy, was he mad when he said that. He said that receivers are MA, which is missing assignments, not missing action or something. But no, they're missing their assignments. They're not where they're supposed to be. So a lot of times, maybe that's the difficulty in getting to his second read is they're not where they're supposed to be. So when he's looking over there and they're not even there, that could be a problem. There are certain things about Jared Goff that I don't like, but I don't think he's getting a whole lot of help either. But Dan Campbell did say that he doesn't like it when he runs backwards and takes too much of a drop, doesn't give our guys enough of an opportunity, So I think he takes too long making a decision. I think that his grasp of the offense is not good whatsoever. And can you put that on Anthony Lynn? Can we turn this around and say, is Anthony Lynn coaching him well enough? Is there a problem with him learning this offense? Like we've heard from over in the Rams thing with Sean McVay. He said that, we basically had to tell him where to throw the ball. That's not a good sign. I don't think he's the quarterback of the future anyway. So I think all this is kind of like, we won't even worry about this a couple of years anyway. But for right now, Dan Campbell didn't throw him under the bus. He threw himself under the bus.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I agree with both of you guys' takes. You already know why I stand on the divide. I'm not saying get rid of him, but he definitely needs to play better. But no, like I commented, added earlier, I don't think Dan Campbell threw him under the bus at all. I actually think he, took it light, made it digestible. He did what a coach, coach speak a lot of that. He could have did much worse, and he wouldn't have been wrong for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's just kind of hard, I guess, to point the finger at, one spot just because everything else ain't together either. But, just that one spot, really, really, really needs to step up. But, I'm not going to overuse the term, but, the whole X's and O's, Jimmys and Joes. And I think we're at that part. At that point, we're arguing, is it Anthony Lynn or is it, Jared Goff? And the receivers not being there. Is it the scheme? Like, are they not putting a good enough scheme out there? You know what I'm saying? Are they not, as they say, are they not scheming them up enough? Is it not going so well? Like, is the route concepts or whatever it is just not translating into winning plays? Right. Maybe that it could be a combination of it all. You got a guy who not hitting the winning plays, but the winning play ain't there. So
yeah.
And I think this is a year, I think the rest of this year will probably be figuring that part out. Like, what is the issue here? Is it this or that?
And one thing some individuals don't understand, I think I kind of take a look at this as far as, and they kind of look over at LA and look at what, Stafford's doing over there. And we lost this trade, blah, blah. And Matthew Stafford went to a system that was already in place. Everyone else knows that system on that team.
Good
and
point.
Stafford, all he had to do was go in and learn it himself, right? And he has command of that offense and that system over there for Sean McVay. Jared Goff's come to a system where not only is he new, everybody's new. The system's new. The coaches are new. All the players around him are new, and look at everybody that's playing right now, either practice squad or they're all kind of just new guys as far as the receiving core. You have a guy like TJ Hawkinson who's been here for a while. Darren Fells is back. He didn't play in this system when he was here before. The wide receivers, they're coming in, learning a new system as well. So everything is spanking brand new. Sucking or not, it's new. So this is going to be a learning process for not just Jared Goff, but for the whole team as a whole.
I think one thing that I didn't say was, I think I expect more from Jared Goff because he's been there. He has won. He's been to the playoffs. He has experience. He's been to a Super Bowl. And people make a lot of that or light of it, whichever side you're on. But no, he has experience. He shouldn't be making these mistakes. And maybe it's not all him. I mean, he's pressured because somebody else missed an assignment, missed a chip, missed a block or whatever. The running game isn't working, so everybody's going to go after him. The receivers aren't in the right spot. There is a lot wrong with this offense. So, I mean, dependent on one guy, yeah, I get it, but he's probably one of the most experienced guys there. So, yeah, he should shoulder some of the blame, and he's the leader.
Yep, definitely, because everyone looks at QB1 for leadership on any team. And if they're not getting it done, then that's probably where it stands out the most. All right, so if you want to play your man Curt Steele in daily fantasy, go to the link in below. Play me on Super Draft. You know what I'm saying? The contest is really different. You have a multiplier game where it's some players, they don't get it 1 point for one. They get it 1.5 or 1 point or 2.5, and you take advantage of those if they're not the top guy, but they score a lot of points. Just ask my man John Campbell, because he took that 57-point L versus your man Curt Steele. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't pick all the top guys. I picked some of the lower tier guys that had a really good game. So
it could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
It could have been worse.
So go over and check it out. The link is in the description below. Superdraft.com. It's free, the contest that I play. But if you want to play some paid fantasy as well, you can do that as well over there at superdraft.com. The link is in the description below. Or just download the app in the Apple, Google, or Android app stores.
Let's see what you got. Try to play my man Curt Steele and take that L.
Yeah, baby. Let's get it. All right, LL, what you got for your news and rumors topic for today, my dude?
Well, on my news and rumors topic for this Wild Out Wednesday, maybe we'll call it. As a fan, do you guys want the number one overall pick? I asked that because a long time ago, and I don't remember exactly who said it, but they say if you're not playing for a championship, you're playing for draft position. So, and that's, a lot of teams, we see that often, almost every other year, if there's a highly touted prospect, they're tanking for whatever. They make some kind of rhyme for that. It's tanking for Tua. Maybe now people saying tanking for Thibodeau. Yeah. That, and what it was, tank for Trevor, all those kind of things, or lose for Lawrence. I don't know if they said that, but I made that up. but it's like, a lot of times, like if you already know you're not going to win, you have a target in play. Like you have your eyes set on, a draft position or a draft prospect. Mm-hmm. So, with that, I guess I'll ask you guys and I'll come back. Well, I'll ask you guys and I'll come back to, give mine. And I have another question for you guys. But as fans, do you guys want the number one overall pick?
Abso-frickin-lutely. Are you kidding me? The number one overall pick has a lot of value. And I don't care if it's the pick or it's trading the pick. There's a difference between 1 and 3 or 1 and 5 or 1 and 7. I know that we used the trade chart and all that. Me and Luke G got into this last year, and he's like, no, it doesn't matter what draft pick because they're going to screw it up anyway. He was right, but I was talking about the value of that pick, not necessarily just we're going to pick 3rd overall and pick Okuda or whomever, but I trust this organization right now, and I trust Brad Holmes. Mm-hmm. And I think getting the number one pick overall, it's not just that. It's trade value. It's the value of the pick. If we're not going to win anything, and God, I don't want to see them lose. That's not my point. But if it's going to help the franchise in the future, and we could get that star that we need to change this team around, okay, I want it.
As a fan, to be honest with you, I don't. And my point, coming from the point of view, is that means that we're the losing this team in the league. That's the only reason why I wouldn't want it. It's not the fact that I understand the trade value. I understand the value of the number 1 overall pick, but that's just, especially if we go 0-17 and be the first team to do that. That would just, I mean, that really breaks your spirit to see us all the losing, but to be the losingest team in the league would definitely really hurt me personally, you know what I'm saying? Not me professionally, because I have to cover the team because that's what we do. But as a fan, I don't want it because that means we're the losingest team in the league. And I hate to see that for the Detroit Lions. I always want them to win.
Right. And we got to put at least 2 on the board. So can't nobody say we the only team to lose 16 games twice. But I have a idea for you guys. What do you guys think about this? Right. I know a lot of people like Thibodeau. I'm not so sure. I don't really know about him. Right. But let's say, the number 1 overall pick, let's say somebody does want him and we want him too, but you have prospects like you could trade back and get prospects like Kyle Hamilton, and that's Jim's guy, and shout out to Val's guy, Val's guy, and maybe Aiden Hutchinson out of Michigan.
Oh, I like him.
So that's like I would love that. I would love that like that kind of a plan, or maybe that approach, because I looked at ProFootballNetwork.com, just looking at the prospects, and they actually have your boy Kyle Hamilton rated number 1. So but just looking at the big board, it's a couple of these guys, like a couple of these edge guys that are pretty. Maybe they're not Thibodeau. Once again, I don't really know much about Thibodeau, but maybe they're not him. But they're not. You know what I'm saying? They ain't too far off. Like, they ain't shabby. They're actually pretty good, and they're expected to be something actually pretty decent in the league. So maybe there's a plan in place. But what do you guys think about that? Maybe a trade back for prospects like Hamilton and Hutchinson.
I like that concept because of the fact that, and you hear people just begging, "Oh, we need a quarterback." No, we don't need a freaking quarterback, especially the draft class that's coming out. Because I've said it, the top teams in college football right now have underclassmen at the helm. They have freshmen, sophomores, guys who aren't eligible to come out in the draft, and the top quarterbacks in the nation aren't coming out this year. It's going to be a bad draft class for quarterbacks coming up. So you look at it, you have an opportunity to kind of just bulk up your defense, get some guys in the building that's going to help trade back, and Brad Holmes has seen the use of really not having a first overall pick. So if he can trade back, he already has the Rams pick, in the next year's draft. That's going to be probably 30 in that 30 range right now, how they're playing. If you look at that, you can get a multiple, even you can turn 1 first round draft pick into 3. So, hopefully. I mean, you look at that, what's that, like a force multiplier where he can just take that 1 draft pick, if it's the number 1 overall draft pick, and make it 3, another one this year, and then another where he have 3 next year. So I like that concept where we can trade back and get more multiple prospects in this year's draft. Yeah, I like that. I don't.
I do, but I don't. Let me explain. This is so Lions. Let's get the adequate guys. Let's get the guys that are good players. Let's not get the great players. Let's not get that guy that could change the entire franchise around. Let's not get him. Let's go and trade down and get a couple pieces that might be good or to not great, but not a game changer. This is what we do. And here's my scenario, the way I want it to play out. I want to get the number 1 pick. And then I want them quarterbacks to shoot up, like Malik Willis and a lot of these other ones. I want them to shoot up to the top, to these thirsty teams that think a quarterback is going to change everything for them. Trade down 1 or 2 spots, get Kyle Hamilton or get Thibodeau. And then, we still get our draft. We still get an extra draft pick out of that. But I don't want to say no to the superstar. I don't want to say no to the guy that could change the franchise.
And that's why I made sure to put Kyle Hamilton in there. Yeah. I don't think
Hamilton's a beast.
Yeah. I wasn't kind of saying that. I was because you have a superstar like an Aiden Hutchinson. That guy's a superstar. He's that guy.
And Kyle Hamilton as well.
Yeah. So you got guys that we can get. I mean, even
there's people that, and I don't know if Hutchinson is a generational talent. this is what I'm looking for. I think Kyle Hamilton is, and I also think Thibodeau is. I think both of those guys are going to be stars in this league. And if we could get one to change that defense around and plug in a superstar that can be a game changer. Look at what happened with Chicago Bears bringing over Khalil Mack. It wasn't a draft pick, but the same situation. They brought over a superstar and bam, they were division champions that year.
Yeah.
Can we make the bold move instead of making the same old move? And a lot of times we don't trade out anyway. So I don't know why we keep talking about it. We never do it.
I mean, but we have a different GM right now. So maybe you look at how much he's stocked up. And maybe he has the tools to trade out this now. Okay. So,
yeah.
And I'm not suggesting like trade the number one pick for, trade out of the first round. I'm saying,
no.
Let somebody go. Cause let's say he is the next coming up. Who's the best pass rusher in the league right now? Probably Khalil Mack or maybe I don't know. Let's say it is the future of pass rushing.
Myles Garrett.
Yeah, okay.
Myles Garrett in the league right now.
I don't want to give him that, but let's say he is. No, if he's Myles Garrett, then we got to take him. But I'm not so sure he's Myles Garrett. And that's what I'm saying. So, but I don't know. I think that we can still get a superstar and a star with that number one pick.
Oh, I agree with you. Aaron Donald was down in the draft a little bit too. And look who he is now. We can't judge it, but I'll say this, that having the number one pick and getting somebody that you think is going to be a game changer. Brad Holmes is actually really going to do his homework on this. So I'm not worried in any way, shape, or form about it, of what he's going to do. Because I love the draft this year and I can't wait for the draft next year.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Hey guys, if you're liking the content and you want to see more of just us, go over to Lions Nation Unite, the ultimate virtual hangout for Detroit Lions fans. The whole crew from Detroit Lions on the Prowls over there. You got Dessert Dion, you got Lions Man, you got everything King. All your favorite Detroit Lions content creators are over there on that app. And you just hang out with us, or you want to get more content from us, check out DetroitLionsOnTheProwl.com. Some good articles over there. We got some talented people on staff, and click on the link for LionsOnTheProwlShop.com. I'm rocking that. What up, though? On a Wednesday, my man Jim is back in his Lions on the Prowl family shirt. So get yourself some Prowl Nation gear over there on LionsOnTheProwlShop.com. Take a picture, send it to us, and we'll feature it on our social media accounts. And you might get a hop up on the show with the picture of you wearing your Prowl Nation gear. Now
I can't believe I messed that up. I said while I Wednesday. I should say what up though Wednesday. My apologies, Kurt. My sincere apologies.
So, but it's time for us to do what? It's time for us to zip this lip, baby, and talk about what you had to say about yesterday's show. It's time for the comment cards. My man Jim, you up first.
I got Ed the Huff Master. And then he says the Lions should not make any trades that will cost them future draft picks. Oh my gosh, this guy's reading my mind. This season is a lost cause. So let's make deals that add draft picks. Well, probably not. There are hundreds of free agents out there that could sign that would be any worse than where we are now. I got you. I do got you. Well, here's the problem. If we have anything that's trade value right now, it's a dead cap hit that would really hurt us. So I don't know about that. I mean, we got Trey Flowers. We got a couple other people that's about it. If I can, that's about it for me. That could yield us a draft pick or something like that. So I don't think we're going to make those deals. And I do hope that we don't trade away the future draft picks. I just don't. I hate that idea. The cupboard is bare, so we don't have anybody to trade at this point that, we could get rid of. I just don't see it. So anyway, but thank you for your comment, Ed.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Ed. The Blunt Report, I think you guys did this on purpose. But the Blunt Report says, thanks, LL. I tried to tell them bozos about Stafford. The mainstream media in Detroit is just clueless when it comes to evaluating talent. They've told us for years that Matt Stafford was incapable of winning big in the NFL. They couldn't have been more wrong. They're always wrong. A lot of people are wrong about Stafford. I'm glad that people are actually being able to see that. I agree with that. Thank you for that. The Blunt Report.
Yeah, definitely. Southwest Lion, Kurt, I agree with you to a point. But if Goff struggles against the Rams and midway through the Eagles game, I will give Blau a shot with that following week. The only thing is, I understand that, and it could be just crushing to Jared Goff's ego just to keep losing like that and keep just playing terrible like he's doing. So I get it, maybe.
Kelly McLemore says, in my opinion, the only reason they would consider this is to ease up on the pressure of drafting a wide receiver in the early rounds next year. I agree completely with you not giving up any draft capital. I agree, Kelly McLemore. And just, what both of you guys have said in a lot, what you guys have said a lot is we're not going to win this year anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
What are we trading for? We're going to trade for a wide receiver to go one. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to win. It's not worth it this year.
It's not worth it this year. Absolutely. Let's see. Theodore Kerr says, love you, Jim. Why losing is number one, losing is an option. I don't understand that. 1 pick sounds good. 2, how many wins do we actually see this year anyway? Perfect chance to see the young guns. Number 3, this year's all about learning and draft picks. No trades except the number 1 pick in the draft for whatever. Okay. Yeah. A lot of things here. I don't know why losing is an option. I really don't understand that. So I don't get what you're saying there. So maybe you could clarify. Now I'm losing half the thing here. Okay. So 2, how many wins do we see this year anyway? Not many. I still got, I've went down to 3 to 5 now. I was at 5 to 7. Perfect chance to see the young guns on this team. There isn't anybody else. So why not? And I don't want to trade or give up draft capital for anybody for this year because we're not making the playoffs this year anyway. Anybody who thinks we're going on a huge run right now, I'm sorry. It's not happening.
All right. The law firm, Joseph Murdoch and Associates, our resident law firm right here. He not really, but you know who he is. All right, Murdoch and Associates. I am waving the white flag and surrendering. Goff is rubbish and proof in the last 6 games. I drank the Kool-Aid and tried the hopium, but we got that 12-step program for you.
Sorry.
The Kool-Aid gave me stomach aches and my head hurts from the hopium. After 6 games, I'm looking forward to the draft. Well, thank you so much for your comment, Joseph Murdoch and Associates. That was probably the funnest comment I've read in a while. We appreciate you. We appreciate everyone's comments.
We do.
Like Jim said earlier, this comment on the video on YouTube, and you have a chance to get your comment read on the next show.
All right. And now we got my favorite part of the show, the dessert with my man Curt, brought to you by Delightful Bites.
Delightful Bites, custom cookies and desserts for any occasion. You got the football special right now. You get 4 helmets, 4 logos, and 4 footballs for $35. So go over and check it out. A dozen cookies. They're nice, big cookies. They're baked and shipped fresh. You just pop them in the microwave when you get them in. If you want to save them, you can throw them in the freezer and have them, as long as for a long time. So they last for a while. But you can sweeten up your football viewing parties with some Delightful Bites cookies. Delightful Bites, get your cookie on. Today's Dessert with your man Curt is a question. And should the Detroit Lions put another star on the shelf? Make him a backup. And I'm talking about Trey Flowers. Is it time for him to have a seat? He hasn't been very productive this year. And you look at what's going on with the Lions right now. You look at maybe that Joe Mixon touchdown he gave up trying to play on the outside, and he was out there kind of gimping around. Is it time for him to kind of have a seat? Give some younger guys a chance. Hey, you look at what's going on. You can bring in Charles Harris playing him across from Julian Okwara. That's an option. I mean, Austin Bryant, now that he's, making himself known to be off the milk carton for a minute, and we realize that he's number 2 on the roster right now as far as his jersey number. And maybe it's time to play some young guys, and maybe, we can, rest Trey Flowers and maybe get some, get his body fresh and, make him available for trade later on. So is it the time to sit Trey Flowers down? That's a pretty big question. We know we're looking at sitting down Jared Goff, but we have another big name superstar, whatever, free agent acquisition who's getting paid a big chunk of money and who's not producing. So that's the dessert with your man Curt. So think about it. You can leave that comment in the comment cards as well. Is it time to sit Trey Flowers as well?
Final thoughts for today. I'm going to answer that question. I don't think so, because if you're trying to showcase somebody for a trade, you want him out there. But the other thing is what Trey Flowers does well is he sets an edge pretty well usually, and he's good against the run. He is definitely not someone I want in pass coverage at all. He doesn't really fit this defense really well, and I can see them trading him. He was never a huge sack guy in the first place. It was stupid for them to bring him over and expect what they expected out of him and give him the money they gave him. But to sit him down, if you want to trade him, keep playing him. It's just what I said. I think it's cost prohibitive to trade him anyway. And I don't think we want to mess up the future right now. Anyway, so today at 3 p.m. is our Gold members meeting, and I'll put that in the community chat so that you can have that. It's 3:00 today, Eastern Standard Time, for people that are not in Detroit area, that might have a different time zone. You folks on the West Coast, Matthew Ferguson, people like that. So 3 p.m. today. The new show starts November 1st. It's The Roar at 4. And we're going to bring you a different cast of characters on that show. And also it's going to be a fun tailgate type atmosphere where you can just talk Lions or listen to it on the way home. We'll be live 4 days a week. So with the Friday show, we'll also be live 5 days a week now. So we just wanted to bring you extra content from Detroit Lions on the Prowl. And those are my final thoughts for today.
My final thoughts, if I can, I'll hold my question, because I think this might be a good topic for tomorrow. Okay. But I'll just answer it and say, I think it's time to make a decision on Trey Flowers, whatever that decision might be. But of course, on this Wednesday, be kind, have a great day. Wild Out Wednesday, What Up Though Wednesday. See you at 3, and let's get ready to beat them rain.
Yes.
Okay with that one.
I love the enthusiasm.
Yeah,
up with hope, down with dope.
my final thoughts, definitely for today's show, is we have to kind of look at what we're dealing with in this roster right now. It's just going to be some growing pains this year. So, we've said it a couple weeks ago. You got to embrace that suck. Shout out to Micro Mike. And it's just going to suck. We're just going to have to get through it. And sometimes the only way to get through something like that is just embrace what we're going through. And you come out better on the other side, because you dealt with the darkest of the days, and it's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's coming. So there you go. All right. And it's hump day. So, the grind is going to be real today over here for Detroit Lions on the Prowl. So, let's go over to the Wall of Fame to see who on that thing one more again. All right, so we got Detroit Drew, DSA member. We have Midwest Lion, the Latino Leo, Brian Stover. We have Bo Gagrius, Justin. Man, I need a cold one, real good, 10K. Sage Roberts. We have Sub-Z, Trap City Boys Entertainment. You know who he is. Jeremy B. Spoken Jeremy. Jeremy Barricks on the gold member list as well. We have Crystal Wiley, Bubba Bo, John Campbell, Art Allen, and the Flintstone. Jimbo G. What's going on, Jimbo? David Anderson. And he is the king of everything. Why? Because he's the everything king. Wrapping up our bronze members list. For our silver members, we have Nomus J, Jason Portis, Cap Ice Cold. Man, I'll be seeing you over there in that Lions Nation Unite app. The signal is in the sky for the Batman of the 313. Maybe he can kidnap Matthew Stafford on Saturday. We have John Martin and Mr. Scotty the Bear, Frenchman, baguettes and all that. And then we have Gold Lions. We haven't said that enough in Ford Field this year because we ain't scoring. We got our gold members. We got Mr. Reliable himself, Michael Hupp, Just in the D, Pride 74, Doug Prince 72, The Inspirational, Turner C. Burley, Dominic Davis, Larry McQuiston. The F5 is in the building. The Tornado is on that gold members list. Bob Korowski, Big Ferg himself, Matthew Ferguson, doing some great work on our content over the Detroit Lions on the Prowl and our social media department as well. So shout out to Matthew Ferguson, Randall Flag 606, Miles Gibbs, the Gridiron Blitz. You know who he is, Mr. Rough and Raw himself. North End Ken is in the building. Stay safe out there on those roads, my dude. And the doctor, Dr. Detroit, is always in. And hey, you know how it goes, man. If you want to become a member of the Wall of Fame, click the Join Now button in the description.
Yeah. Today was a really, really good show. I'll tell you what, I was so happy with what happened today. And I think such good topics, even though it's such a bad season. So guys, thanks for rocking with us. And I'm just going to send it over to my main man, Curt Steele, to end this show.
Hey, you know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And the March to 3,000 is on. We're almost home. So click the subscribe button. It's free. It's free 99 and 50 cent free. So it don't cost you nothing. You can keep that wallet in your pocket to click that subscribe button. And it's hump day, baby. The grind is definitely on. You know, it's downhill from here. And my inspirational thought for you today is that the team will prosper when all of us work in tune with each other. Let's do our best. And that's what Dan Campbell was telling you when he says that everyone on the team needs to step up and for us to be better. And that includes Jared Goff. So that's what we need to do. So that's why he's trying to shake things up to get the team to go ahead and play better together right there on the field. So it's Wednesday. You know, I want to tell you, we appreciate you checking us out right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Like I said, go hang out with us on Lion Nation Unite and wipe your mouth, crumbs, finish your drink, and get back to work, baby. And whatever you do in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my fellas, LL and Jim, this is Curt Steele, and we will holla at you real soon.